But I talked about this beforehand. How you need to like focus the customers to sort of like do positioning like you would for any other product.
Yes.
But do it in the world of podcasting, and how I'm just not doing that because I am too general in my pursuit.
We're not focused at all.
Well, maybe. Well, I mean, we're focused on who we are personally.
Yes.
But I think a part of the reason is because also like we haven't really targeted where we would fit. We haven't found so we haven't said, this would be entertaining to, people with severe brain damage.
Yes.
So
that we've targeted.
Yeah. So we should go to hospitals and then say, hey, you no longer know the alphabet.
Retirement homes.
Yeah.
And just tell them where their grandchildren and start talking.
I believe this will be entertaining to you. So we have finished The Plague.
We have finished The Plague.
Well, the book.
Yeah, right. The Plague is still going on.
Yeah, the real one is...
I do have a few, as usual, my few notes here. Right. The book didn't get any better. And I don't understand at the end why the narrator is revealed to be Rio. How will you pronounce that name?
Yeah, right, the doctor.
And yet the voice of the narrator doesn't change.
Not only
he doesn't suddenly say, and now I think.
I don't understand how the guy, at the very end, some guy goes insane.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand why that's there.
Well, I think the point is, and I have some notes here. I think that he's saying, this is what I think, you can't cheat death, and you can never win. And I think that even though the plague is gone, there's still the next problem begins. Yeah,
sure, maybe.
But it's still boring. And it's still dull. The voice didn't change. The plague, so to speak, is over, but the bad news isn't.
So I was going to then seek out the nonfictional works of his to try to get a better perspective on this, but I just thought, fuck it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I've had it with this guy.
Yeah, I really don't care.
Yeah. If we're going to read another book, let's read a good one.
Yeah, it's just not useful. No, we're not going to read another good one. We're going to read one that might be more fun, at least.
Oh, all right.
But it's not going to be as good.
It can't be more boring than this.
I don't know, but it's going to be faster.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Right, because that one took the duration of a plague.
Even though it's not that long a book, 250 pages is not a long book.
Right, but every page is painful.
Wow, yeah. It was. What did I have? I wrote down 2 or 3 more notes. Yeah, at the end there's a shot and a vaccine, so it was. It was like the plague again. If we had not been told that it was an allegory, I'd still think it was identical to the plague we're going through now.
I have, he's a French author, right? Mm-hmm. And I've watched French movies, and they are equally sort of, terrible and painful. I mean, I've had French toast before.
That's not bad. You put on enough
that's okay,
syrup.
Right? And French fries, I like. Actually.
French fries are good.
Yeah,
Ketchup?
a few things. Like a French roll, those are pretty tasty.
Yeah,
French I think
bread.
That food.
French's mustard.
Or French's mustard, yeah. Food, if it has the word French in it. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, and I don't know about French kisses. Are those like this?
Heard.
Is this
no, this is
Twizzlers is different. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything about those. But what we're going to do is Beatrice Sparks. I told you about this woman beforehand.
You have mentioned her, but I don't remember.
So she was a psychologist or therapist. She was conservative and a Mormon. So she wrote these books in or I shouldn't say that. The story is that she found journal entries from teenagers and then comprised books out of them, like in Anne Frank, right? And so this is found footage in book form, right?
Found diaries?
Right. But she's never identified, for instance, like Anne Frank. You can say, here's the house. Yeah. Here's what she looked like. There was an Anne Frank. Like maybe you could say that they manipulated some of the diaries,
Right.
or they took out some scenes or whatever, but she existed, right?
Yeah.
Beatrice Sparks has never said, "Oh, this is who that person is."
Oh, she never
Because-
revealed because she made it up?
Well, that's the idea.
Yeah.
When it comes down to like the copyright
Yeah.
on the text, like its own sole authorship, and only this is her.
Uh-huh.
And so she did this grift for a while, and the first real hit that she had was like in 1972 or so, and you've heard of it before. The book is called Go Ask Alice.
Oh, I didn't realize
That's
that was
Beatrice
her. Yes.
Sparks, right?
Well, I saw the movie.
So-
I think it was a TV
Right,
movie.
there was. So I've got two Beatrice Sparks, very similar thing. This
Yeah.
was after she did Go Ask Alice. She
Yeah.
tried to repeat her success and make money again by doing Jay's Journal, which is the boy version of that. So we've got two of them here, about the same. I predict that they should be super fast. You know,
Yeah.
it looks like what a fifth grader would do to try
Yes.
to, like, you know, if you had a 10-page essay. And
Right.
just had
This is a
you know,
good book for
it's,
that.
It's double spaced, large margins. You know, yeah, it's got a lot of. Yeah. And so, which
There's
one?
no pictures.
There's no pictures. Yeah, but which one would you like to read?
Well, let's go with her hit and not her failure.
Well, no,
I
one-
think it's still going to be terrible.
No, I'm sorry. That's not how it
Yeah.
works. One of us reads one, and the other person
Oh,
reads the other.
okay.
And then we discuss it next week.
Wow. January 24th. Let's read. Okay, then I'll read Jay's journal because
Okay,
I've
cool.
seen the movie.
And Odo Go Ask Alice. Fantastic.
All right.
So that's yours.
Ooh,
to
this
keep.
is the much thicker book with less pictures.
Oh, do you
Okay.
want to
No,
switch again?
I'm kidding. I'll read Jay's journal.
Yeah, you know, there was more than 5 million copies sold.
And there were much less for this.
Much fewer, yeah. yeah, right. And so, yeah, this is a 1971 Simon & Schuster.
Oh, a real publishing company. What year?
Oh,
Where was this, the next
79
year?
or so, I think.
Yeah, 79.
Yeah. Did my homework.
Correct. Well, let me put this over here.
Right.
All right.
So that's
next stop, Jay's journal.
That's it. And then after that, we're going to go into something probably, I think it was
You didn't read this already, though,
No.
right? Okay.
no, I found it.
All right.
And so it was, you know how they have like those little libraries?
Oh, the outside and
Yeah,
corners. And
right, exactly.
Leave some, take some.
Uh-huh. So I found both of these in there, and I was like, oh, perfect.
Together.
Yeah, just together.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like they were unread.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is school related.
Maybe someone had to buy it for school and
Yeah.
then realized they could read the Cliff Notes or see the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And said, oh, well, I don't need this. But it looks like it was just
It
brand
doesn't
new.
really look like it was open.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay, so that's that part. Let's see. What else happened recently, past 2 weeks? The markets have crashed.
The market crashed.
yeah.
We lost half of, both of us lost half of our crypto investment.
I got screwed by Bitcoin a second time. It's pretty nice.
That's right.
You know,
I
it's-
lost 50% of my crypto investment.
But
But it wasn't that much.
90% of it
Yeah.
was like own bonuses and rewards.
Right.
For signing
First
up.
of it was, 90% of it was for doing those little puzzles.
Because what I do is I whenever I find these things, whether like get $3 in I don't know, like Bitcoin.
Yeah,
or
and a
whatever.
Bitcoin you never heard
And then
of.
and
Then I do it
I give
too.
it to him, and then like a year passes, and then the $3 are worth like 110, and you're like, okay.
And the 110 is back down to 3 now.
Or no,
So
it's
I
back
had-
down to like 40.
Yeah. I had about $400
Uh-huh.
at the peak, and now it's, I think it was 100. I can't even look it up now. I think it's
No, it doesn't really matter.
116 now.
But
It's-
how much of
it's
that
way
was
lower.
real money?
$50. I had to put in $50.
So you're still up.
So I'm still more than 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So you're buying dinner. That means.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, but speaking of dinner, actually, we already have some. So
We
2
have-
weeks ago,
I brought a little of my test as well. Yeah.
2 weeks ago, we talked about these things, and we said, okay, we're going to come back and do it. Now, luckily, this thing hasn't expired yet. It says May 25th, and so
2025.
that's why this is like super important that I do this week. There's no English on this one, so we're just going to open this thing up.
We should read it first and try to figure out what it is.
There is no English.
Let's guess what it is, though, first. From the pictures and then be totally wrong.
Okay.
There is not a word of English. That's correct.
No.
I think this is going to be like a crunchy, salty snack. But again, I'm an American, so who knows what the flavors.
Yeah.
I think it's going to smell salty and it's going to taste like crackers you put in soup.
The thing is that, like,
I don't know if it's sweet or...
a lot of these, we think that it's going to be so much weirder and stranger than the stuff we're accommodated with. I bet you it's just corn nuts.
Yeah, oh, they might be.
That it actually just tastes like American snacks. You open it up and then like some kind of foreign puff comes out of it. You know.
Smell it? What does it smell like?
Oh, it smells like fish.
Oh, it is. It smells like rotten fish.
Everything that we have that's Asian smells like fish. It tastes lovely.
It actually tastes. Then there's a little sugar in it or some sweetness.
You know, I think
it's not bad.
It might be.
Smells awful.
It might be from the shelf that it was sitting next to.
You bought it at the fish.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a slight peanut butter taste to it.
There's peanuts in it.
Oh.
That was my prediction from last week.
Oh, you're correct. This actually isn't bad. It just smells absolutely awful.
Quite delightful.
It tastes like a kid's peanut butter cereal.
Yeah, it's really nice. So this one, it's made in India, and I guess they don't really have preparations yet because they're still they're still behind. You know, they haven't leapfrogged into the 21st century yet. Oh, my finger.
All right. What is there any English on this one?
Yeah, there is. Remember, these things are branded as cookies, as we did last time, and it has flour.
Let me clean my palate.
No, this is just regular ingredients. There's nothing crazy about this. It's just flour, barley, niacin, and then a bunch of chemicals like sugar, water, and blah.
All right, let's smell it.
Okay, we should allow the camera to smell it a bit. Okay, good.
Let's see. There's almost no smell. It smells like an Indian restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is going to taste like salad croutons. That's my guess. Yeah.
No.
Again, sweet.
It tastes like animal crackers.
Yes, tastes just like animal crackers.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, maybe India has to.
No, and it feels like there's no salty or savory thing at all. It's very sweet.
Maybe India has a bunch of like diamond-shaped.
It's very
animals.
cookie-like.
Yeah. Well, it says cookie.
Oh, that's I didn't read the label.
Yeah, it says cookies right here.
Oh, well, they taste like cookies.
Yeah, this is what.
That's the least offensive thing you've ever brought here.
Really?
It's not bad. Now I have a little contribution.
No, that's right. You got Twizzlers. This is mystery flavors.
I was in the store, and they have regular black Twizzlers and red Twizzlers, multicolored Twizzlers, and this is mystery flavor.
It doesn't have ingredients. They have.
But the ingredients are sugar and chemicals.
Oh, nice.
The ingredients are corn syrup, wheat flour, and sugar. Cornstarch. There's no natural flavor at all.
It says, guess the mystery flavor. I'm
Oh,
curious.
is it a game?
Well,
No, it's not. You don't win anything. I guess you just guess.
what I'm guessing that actually happened
Yeah.
see the marketers had to decide to do this way,
Yeah.
and so I'm guessing that this is an inversion. And really, what they did is they created this thing, and nobody could agree upon what it tasted like.
But it was.
And so this was a compromise, which was just say, well, let's just say it tastes like something.
Oh, that might be
Put it out there.
Now you've had. We've all, of course, had red Twizzlers, and you've probably had. Although I don't think you like black Twizzlers.
I do. I like licorice.
And then grape. I've seen grape, and they have a package of Twizzlers that's all different colors that just tastes like.
Right. And then
Oh,
you have a lot of.
this definitely smells like grape, or it doesn't smell like real grapes. It smells like grape Kool-Aid.
They have a lot of sort of mock Twizzlers,
Yeah.
which aren't as good.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like red vines?
Yeah, they're
Too soft and
sticky.
sticky.
Yeah, it just doesn't have the right.
This smells like grape soda. It smells like grape, like high C.
Well, maybe another thing that could happen is perhaps this is an old flavor, but then the labeling laws change.
But they can't call it Twizzlers anymore.
Well, no.
They can't call it food.
Well, fruit punch was a classic one.
Yeah.
Where they were like unspecified thing,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
and maybe
they have
maybe
to give it a flavor, even though there's no natural flavor. They can. All right, here we go.
What's your guess? Minus sugar.
Raspberry? Not real raspberry. I don't mean like if you got fresh raspberries.
Yeah.
I mean like if you got raspberry lifesavers. There's an aftertaste, isn't there?
I just think that it's nothing. Again, I think it's just...
There's a rubbery aftertaste to this. Mm-hmm. You getting that?
Well, yeah. Maybe the mystery taste is good here.
Yeah.
Firestone, perhaps?
There's a flavor. The immediate flavor is high C fruit punch. Smells like grape.
Best Buy never. Huh.
And there's an aftertaste.
Yeah.
Like rubber. Mm-hmm. Like what you would think a tire would taste like.
And he's going in for a second.
Because I'm not convinced yet.
Well,
this is not good.
No.
It's not as good as red or black or grape.
Well, I mean, what else could you do with these things? I mean, they're kind of like little strings or ropes. Could you like maybe tie something down or hold it up, or
if they would stick, maybe you could tie things with it. Maybe these would be good handcuffs instead of, when they run out of handcuffs, they use those twist.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is for the. This is for like if they ever have to arrest the thin blue line people.
Yeah.
The ones that really like the cops, and they're like, oh, it's okay. They're not going to go anywhere. Let's see.
This is how I feel about this. Is how I feel about peach pie. Every time I eat peach pie, I think, this is almost apple. It should be apple, and this is almost red licorice, but not.
It's an insult to all
Yeah.
foods. It is. Yeah.
So I would not give this a passing grade.
No.
I would give these two, oddly, a passing grade, but I would fail the mystery Twizzlers.
Well, you know why? It's because I'm better than you. And I bring better food than you. So.
You shop better. I got this in a real supermarket, though. I didn't get that. Where'd you get that? The car wash?
No. An ethnic supermarket.
Oh. I got this in the ethnic, if the Jewish supermarket is the...
You got that at a Jewish supermarket?
No, I got Pavilions.
Oh. Because,
I got it at the Beverly Hills supermarket. Yeah.
No, the Russian one's down there.
There's a Russian... Yeah, but I didn't go to the Russian one.
I assume that the Russian ones are all Jewish, right?
They have a bigger kosher section. Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, so...
I got it at the one they call the Beverly Hills
how West
one.
Hollywood is the tale of two cities. You got the gays and the Russians.
Yeah.
Are the Russians mostly Jewish?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is at the other side of town.
There's a separate Jewish district down.
Yeah, Fairfax district.
Not close to the freeway. So
Well,
I don't know if it was. Well,
yeah.
I say
No, I got this right here.
the Jewish district is east of east of Santa Monica, west of downtown. It's all of it.
It's an aftertaste. I'm bothered by the aftertaste.
That's every relationship I've been in.
Yeah, bothered by what's left after it's over.
Yeah, it's that bad. Yeah. And so, I wrote some fiction.
Oh, okay.
All right. And that's about it. I could read the fiction. This is about 2 nights ago, and I don't want to go over that, guys.
You got creative.
I did. So what I did was have I sent this to you yet?
No, you did not send me any writing.
So I'll do it. So what it was is it's a story about time machine, about time travel, but it's a different take on it. So in 2009, Stephen Hawking, which is the scientist confined to a wheelchair. Actually, I'll just read it.
The Brief History of Time.
Mm-hmm. Stephen Hawking hosted a secret birthday party in 2009 where he only invited time travelers from the future. Afterwards, he announced that nobody appeared at a secret party, demonstrating time travel is impossible. Very clever.
Oh, okay.
Because nobody came.
That's his writing? Okay.
That's what actually...
That's a real thing.
But
yeah,
it's not true. Here's what actually happened.
Oh, okay.
Bang! A grizzled, scarred man in military armor materializes in an almost empty living room. He sees balloons, unopened champagne, and a birthday cake. A startled Stephen Hawking wakes up from a nap. "Professor Hawking," the man says. "I wasn't really expecting," the computerized voice emanates. "I am from the future. I come to warn you about the destructive terror of time travel. Never has humanity come up with a more devilish weapon of war. I seek to prevent the deceitful lies of future tyrants. A new language of horror arises from these tools in the hands of unscrupulous, aspiring dictators. The atomic weapons, or the atomic wars, become mere footnotes in the age of time-traveling imperialism. Bang! A bearded man with a monocle appears. Professor Hawking, I am Dr. Nectron. I bring you greetings from the future with the secrets of time travel. Zap! The scarred man shoots the monocle Dr. Nectron as his head splits to reveal computer chips and battery acid shooting from a cybernetic skull. The robot slowly evaporates in a colorful cloud. In NX 4000, these are part of the chronographer's conquest. Our wars are fought in the mind. Do not believe anyone who comes with good news. They are the spam emails from competing future empires. In my time channel, you are visited by one of these spam bots and show the dastardly tricky flaws in your general model. These corrections permit for time travel. Humanity starts working on it, deluded in optimism. Those predicting evil are dismissed as alarmists. But you see, scammers always abuse dreams. Bang! The shape of a sandy-haired woman takes form. Dr. Hawking, I am from the Interstellar Science Society. Zap! The phaser gun makes her shine and she stumbles. Dr. Hawking, I am from the Interstellar Science Society. The man telescopes a nightstick and smashes the woman's head as blue smoke and green sparks radiate from her face. A different time channel. I've never seen one of these. They must all be coming here. She starts speaking again. Dr. Hawking, I am from the Interstellar Science Society. He takes his sidearm and plugs bullets into the robot's mouth as it evaporates in a flash. They really aren't here. These are mass-produced holographs from the future. I've said too much. I'll deflate the balloons to make it look like a day has passed. The man hurries over to Hawking's wheelchair. I must get you out of here. Do not report any of this. There must be no historic record. The man wheels Dr. Hawking to the parlor and sits down, finally relaxing. Is this tea? I've only heard of it. Do you mind? Everything you speak of, all ideas, all things, all thoughts, they are all of the past. Society and knowledge is a composite of the shadows of former presence. When people lie or misrepresent knowledge, they speak of a past they wish to change. What if people who have the most to gain from deceit have a tool to actually change the past and make these lies the truth? What if they had time travel? I see you're starting to understand. The liars of today will become the time travelers of tomorrow. They are in constant battles to redefine the past for their benefit. These modifications and permutations never stop because it is humanity's own failings and frailties that blemish their imagined perfections. They seek the unattainable and refuse to accept the unattainability of it. Those of the future who cannot accept this perpetually contest the now and rob the world of having a present. Causality, reality, truth, fact, science itself, it all becomes as manufactured as a glossy advertisement. Whether these people pretend the past in your time or do what we call prescend in mine, the world is better with a reality, just one. It's definitionally part of what makes that concept useful. Tea is amazing. I hope to one day enjoy this again. The tool of time travel takes this reality away, you see. The past is subject to change without notice, as much as the uncharted future bound by it. These liars are in a relentless pursuit of realitizing new fictions to change the facts to fit their opinion. It is a tool for ambitious idiots who try to resolve their cognitive dissonance, their fantasies of the past. However, they are never attached to reality, not even that which they create. Thus, they only create increasingly catastrophic problems with each effort. This is how society slides into war. We always think it's far too stupid to continue, but irrationality is contagious. Your world, mostly forgotten about the semanticist, it's a Polish name, Korzybski, I can't do it, but his works are crucial in my time. Do you know the phrase, the map is not the territory? We attempted a Westphalia Treaty for the fourth dimension to declare chrono-geopolitical borders and channels of space-time. It didn't work. We cannot agree on a present because the past was in dispute. There was no consensus of reality to be the foundation. The immutability of the past is the most important thing there is. In a way, it is the only thing there is. Dr. Hawking, now you may have become death, the destroyer of worlds. Sometimes the best action is the least action. The art of truly doing nothing is the most difficult skill to practice. So lie about today. Say nothing happened. The fate of humanity hangs on your willingness to deceive. Lying about the past can only change the future. This lie will be your finest hour as it becomes tomorrow's truth. Do not let your integrity vanquish the dreams of persons yet born. It is in intentional silence where those of privilege exercise the most power. If you make the moral choice, I will return to a world perhaps of peace, perhaps of war, but I will know the next day will build upon the last. I will be empowered to create a future built atop a permanent past, and dreams will have meaning. I must go. Goodbye, Dr. Hawking. Happy birthday. The man evaporates in a cloud sparkled by light and color. Stephen sits alone, hearing muffled sound from behind his living room door. Constant bangs followed by, Happy birthday, Dr. Hawking! I am from the future! Then fizzles and sparks. He'll describe exactly what happened. Humanity will appreciate the consequences. Simple integrity should suffice. But that is just his imagined perfection, his own foolish optimism. The cynicism of experience must guide the way. Into his computer, he answers, Time Traveler's birthday party. It was nobody and nothing. And that's it.
Oh,
what do you think? Yeah. So yeah, I wrote that in best. I don't know why I got inspired to write that, but I thought that was fun. I don't know if it was any good though.
Excellent work.
What? Was it better than Camus?
It was certainly better than.
Oh!
Shorter and more things happened and had a better point of view.
Was there?
Characters were more interesting.
Was there too much stuff that happened?
And something different happened instead of the same thing over and over again?
I mean, it initially ended at the happy birthday line. And then I added the Hawking thing, because the part that I thought was a really sort of interesting dynamic here is that he says the worst thing is liars in society. It's those that wish to deceive. And that in a future where we have a technology to make that the truth, then they become the people that exercise it the most as they go back and try to change the past. And then you have scammers and hoodwinkers.
But
and all.
Instead of in the future there will be no ability to lie, there will be an ability to change the facts to suit the lie.
Right.
Yes.
And the people that are most dissatisfied with reality because of their own idiocy, they're the ones that would end up doing the most with a time-traveling machine, because they'd try to fix things. Yeah. And they wouldn't be able to accept that some things just can't be fixed. Yes. They're not there. You always have a distance from reality. So there's always this distance of perception. That's what that Polish philosopher wrote about. And it's ironic because what he asks Stephen Hawking to do at the end is to do the lie. He doesn't say, be honest. He says, now in order to save all of the problem from the liars, you must lie yourself.
Right.
And that's kind of the nature of war, right? Is all these violent people out here. In order to prevent that, you must go over there and do some violence. Yeah. And it just sounds so counterintuitive, right? And it's this argument of its necessity. And then you have the idea of, well, maybe this military guy is the con artist. Right? Maybe he is the con, and the robots are actually or whatever, right? You have this kind of like multi-dimensionality to it. That was really sort of a nice thing. So I like to do some of this writing. I'm inspired to, but I don't know what to do with it.
Well, there are books of short stories that there's short story magazines. There's a sci-fi short story magazine.
Do people still use those?
It to that. People do get them.
Do you think that they'd accept
people
them?
Yes, they accept. They definitely accept submissions.
I should send it. See what happens.
And see what happens. Mm-hmm. And they are still published. Maybe some of them are online, but they are published.
I don't want any money.
No, I know you're not doing it for the money. You're doing it for the glamour.
No.
But
do it for the entertainment.
They are published. Yeah.
If it turns into something of money, then that's fine. But
short story writers never get rich, so don't worry about it.
is this true?
Yes.
I mean,
Not since O. Henry.
I think that's when it comes to authors, the best analogy is people that athletes or musicians, right? Is that it's very, very few people.
There's 200 famous ones. Yeah.
Right, and we can name them, right?
Yeah.
And so it's mostly just a life of poverty
Yeah.
or of doing something else. And there's also this problem of like, there's more writers than readers of the world, I believe.
Really? You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. You mean more attempted writers? Well, that's the communication, the form of communication for anything. Even if you're a doctor, you have to write down information.
No, that's not what I'm talking
and
about.
if you,
I'm saying, whenever I've been on a long flight anywhere, Europe or whatever, is occasionally I'll get up and stretch my legs and walk around a cabin, and I bring books to read.
Yeah.
But I'm the only person reading. I'm
everyone
literally,
else is writing?
No. They're all watching TV or whatever, right? They're all watching shows.
Yeah.
So well, those are written, right? Yeah. But I realize just what a minority it is for people that actually sit around and just read books.
Yeah.
It's just
well,
not.
It used to be, well, certainly in 2021, but in the 70s particularly. Well, in the 70s, books were everywhere. Mm-hmm. You used to get them in the supermarket. Remember racks in the supermarket, and every airport would be filled with bookstore after bookstore, and people would get books a paperback book based on what's on the cover to read on the plane. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't really exist anymore. Now you got to know what you're looking for. Or there's very little browsing, so it's harder to sell books.
I think a lot of it, or another part about it, is that there's a. It's like we'll close after this, but this is the Egyptian trash pile, the Yacaranius trash. Do you know about this? I've talked to you about it. So this was discovered in late 1800s. And it was a garbage pile that was used for, I don't know, maybe like 1,500 years or something like that. And it's just like the city dump in Egypt. So people were able to go through it. And when I say the city dump, I mean like in antiquity.
Yeah.
Which makes it very fascinating. Yeah. Because then you see like scrolls and clay tablets and all these things of what people threw away. And the interesting part about that is that, let's say that we had, Charles Dickens' Great Expectations here, right? And then you're like, what am I going to keep? And then you might pick that one up, and then all these magazines you just toss in the garbage, right? Yeah. Well, in reality, you actually had many more magazines than you had Charles Dickens. Yeah. And so what happens is that we don't get to see the bottom of the pyramid, of the huge sort of like, the foundation of crap, at the bottom level. And this allowed people to see it, right? So it was stuff like receipts and sensationalized stories about like celebrities.
You mean ancient celebrities?
Right.
Was there enough literacy so that there was enough written words so that people were getting it?
Yeah.
Or were just the elite able to read?
I don't remember exactly what the literacy rate was back then, but historically speaking, you to get in the single digits, maybe like even in ancient times, like if it was like 1750 or something, somebody of our pedigree would probably know how to read.
Yes, someone of our pedigree, but
what I'm saying is that when we're talking about our pedigree, we're only talking about maybe top 10%. Yeah, yeah. So that's still a lot of people, right? Yeah. Or top 20 or whatever, or wherever we are, right? I'm just saying that it's a bigger. It's not just like scholars and universities.
No, I know that, but 10%. Let's say 10% of people knew how to read. Are you really discovering? I'm just asking the question. Are you really discovering enough about the people based on the 10% of people that can read?
Well, you're discovering much more than you would have otherwise.
Than if you didn't have it. Right, okay.
And the book that Here's a question.
I guess people would have things
So-
read to them. They'd go places and people would.
So they
read.
found
News of the world.
They haven't categorized
Yeah.
all of it yet, just because there's so much, and you have to be a very accomplished scholar to be able to read this stuff, right?
Yeah.
You have to like study for
Ancient
years and years and all these ancient
Aramaic,
languages and
yeah.
ancient scripts, and in order to be able to conceptualize,
Yeah.
you have to study this and that, because if they say something, then you have to say, oh yes, they're referring to this news and
Yeah.
this. Yeah, it's just so you have to. So only people that very few people, and they have a backlog of what they're going to be doing like for the next 100 years to be going through all of these. But they've done an itinerary on the most popular texts, and the top list is mostly pornographies.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Just like
titillating.
now.
It's titillating sort of pornographic
Yeah.
content, and that was a very popular thing for people to read back then. There's also some early Christian Bibles, and the interesting thing is that they have variations.
Yeah, they're different.
So
Even now, they're different.
the call, like the call for Satan is 616 and not 666.
Well,
and with in
the area
Hebrew,
code expanded. It was an overlay.
Hebrew numerology,
Yeah.
that corresponds to Nero.
Oh,
So there's these kinds of things where like their variations seem to match reality more. Now, the argument from the historians is say, aha, here is the original text. And then the argument from the believers say, there is the manipulated text, that is a fraud, and so it doesn't actually resolve anything, right? So it's fascinating with that. But yeah, one day I'm going to have text like this that's going to be on the pile of trash
All
next
right,
to
yeah.
porno, because
and
I
people
write
will try to translate it.
I write worthless crap.
Yeah.
So, but that's it.
All
We're
right.
nice and short today.
All
20
right.
minutes.
Well, that's it.
Hey.
Let's call it a day.
Come on. What are you doing sitting down there?
What am I doing?
You have to leave.
I'm leaving. All right.
I'm waiting for you.
Warm up the car.